This is a round one of the Winter Series from last night. What you're going to be watching is a replay. So it'll be on me the whole time, but this is a 38-lap race, about an hour and 18 minutes. This series is about Drivers' Championship and Manufacturers' Championship. It's BOP, no tuning. It's 2 times tire wear, 2 times fuel. Right now, before I start the race, just to give you a little bit about the strategy that my team was doing. We're Team Toyota. We're running the Supra concept. We're both running the Pepsi cars tonight. Everybody in the series made their own liveries, which I love that about this game. You can make your own liveries. So right now, if we try to run 38 laps, we can make it on one stop if we preserve our fuel, because we can only run 18 laps full throttle, full power. So that means that we would be 2 laps short of a one-stop race. So do we reserve fuel in each of our runs, or do we make an extra pit stop? That's the question, and most people in this race had the same problem going on. So what you'll see, even though it's going to be on my car, you'll see people pitting. But some people do 2 pit stop strategies, and the others do the one-stop strategy. In my opinion, because of tire fall off of the 2 times tire wear, you can get about 11 to 12 good laps out of a set of mediums, which is our tires, and you can get about 16 good laps out of the hard tire without doing a lot of drop on time. So my teammate and I, we decided we wanted to do 2 11-lap stints of medium tire wear and 1 stint of 16 for hard. Some people started on mediums and some people started on hards. So you'll see the difference in the race throughout. I think I'm going to turn the display info on so you can see what place I'm in and how I'm using my throttle and all that kind of stuff. Let's try this. For some reason this is being retarded. Here we go. Hope you enjoy the replay. As you can see, I've run my teammate back down. At one point, when I made my first mistake, I was about 4 seconds back, and so I've run him down. I've already told you that we're going to be doing 11 laps, so I'm excited that I've recaught the leader, who is my teammate, and you'll get to see what happens right here. Kind of disappointing, because I was excited that I reeled him back in. It means my pace is a little bit better than his, so there might be a chance that I can win this race. Not putting up the fastest laps that I was yesterday. I was running a 2-minute flat, 2-minute .1. My optimal lap time was a 59.7, but as you can see, I got out and on the gas a little too hard and spun the car out. And what's crazy is, have about a 10-second gap back to third place. So I probably lost another 3 to 4 seconds right there just doing that. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, 3 to 4 seconds is not that bad. I can run another 2 hard laps, try to regap these guys and get in the pits, because I don't know what their pit stop strategy is. But then this happens. I completely overshoot the chicane. There goes my lead. I didn't just lose one position. I can't get my car to grip because my tires are dirty. I didn't even know that this Carey guy right next to me in the Aston Martin was even there until I bumped him right there. That's when I knew he was there. So right now, my heart is racing. I'm flipping out, trying to figure out what the heck just happened. I only have 1 lap to pit, and I'm down in 5th place when I had a 10-second gap on all these guys. So right now, I'm just kind of frustrated that I made a stupid mistake. So I'm trying to calm down and realize that we're only on lap 11 of 38. Another thing that I didn't tell you about in the beginning is this race is a mandatory compound change. What that means is we run 2 different tire compounds here. We're running the racing medium and the racing hard. So at least one time in this race, you have to be on the hard or this medium. So right now I'm on my mediums. I think I might have mentioned this in the beginning, but I didn't mention that it was a mandatory change. So here I go off into the pits. I have to time it just right when it starts fueling, because I know I need to leave the pits with at least 61 or 62 liters. And so I nailed that right there. And that 62 liters will get me through this next 11 laps, because that's about how I burn about 60 to 61 liters in an 11 lap stint. So now I'm back on fresh tires. I lost another position going in the pits right there. So I'm right in the middle of the pack. I'm 7th out of 14 people. But we have a lot of laps left. I have fresh tires. Everybody in front of me on older tires, except for my teammate Gillespie, who is currently in 5th place. So right now I'm about 5 seconds behind Zero Duck in 6th place, trying to run him down. There's the vet in my view, just a half straightaway down. So when I see somebody like that, and then I see what you don't see, that it showed me in the race, is I have where those dashes are under my name. That shows the gap that I am from the car, like on Zero's dashes. It tells me how far ahead he is. And on my dashes, it tells me how far ahead I am of the 8th place car. So I'm looking at his little timer and watching it shrink, which means I'm catching him. So what happens is I tend to pay attention to that a lot. And I shouldn't, because I should be focusing on the track and where all my braking changes are and stuff like that. And that's how sometimes mistakes get made. I think though right now I've knocked about 2 seconds off of his gap. When I came out of the pits I was 5 seconds behind. I think I'm right around 3 seconds. Yellow means that we had a car spin out somewhere up here. Here in a second we'll do a car ride along. I'll show you what the camera that I use. It's an in-car cam. This is the version that I see when I'm racing. We'll ride along here a lap or so. And see, now you can see the cars in front of me. See, here on this track, you got to choose when to pick your battles, because it's a narrow track, not a lot of passing opportunities, so I'm trying everything I can to stay as close to him and figure out when I can set up my pass. And these vets aren't easy to pass. See, I wanted to dive it in there, but I changed my mind. In the past, like maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I probably would have stuck my nose in there and we would have both ended up wrecking. And instead of wrecking, I'm still on the track moving forward, so that's what I care about most. So I thought maybe I could get under here, but he has more power in that vet out of the corner than I do. I have to rely on my turbo to spool up. So what I'm hoping is, by staying on his butt, oops, he did the crossover on me because I went late into the braking. So I give him a little nudge, let him know I'm there. He probably already knows that I'm on better tires, but so he finally realizes that he gives me the signal to go around him there. Saw his turn signal. I don't even remember what I was saying just a second ago. But we're up to 6 now. Hoping to get through these cars before they pit. Because if I can get through these cars before they pit, then if they were running a one-stop strategy, I've got them beat because I'm ahead of them already. And if they're doing a one-stop pit, they have to reserve fuel, and I don't. Again, same thing with this guy. I'm trying to pick and choose when to make my passes. So this guy, I think I'm setting up to do the same thing with him, but I'm a little further alongside of him than I was with the Corvette a minute ago. So I'm able to hit my braking point this time. And I completed it cleanly. See, he slipped up there a little bit, got on the outside, and that's what caused him to lose his grip. And so by doing that, I was able to get on the gas a lot better and get out of that corner. So it made for a pretty easy pass. And he didn't fight me on it, because if he would have fought me, we would have probably both been off in the grass somewhere. That was just a lapper. The 13th place car, I believe. The next guy I've got to get up here past. We've been racing for a long time. He's pretty quick. They're all pretty quick guys. You got to be on your heels to stay ahead of them, or even be as fast as them. Which is good. I love racing against faster people. It makes me drive harder. He just pitted, so there we go. I'm back up to second position because 2 people pitted. As you can see, the guy that was running second started on hards, and then the guy that was just in front of me was on mediums. So now I'm sure Kerry's going to do a compound change. Zero was on a hard tire as well. I don't know if Ace is doing a hard tire yet, because he just ran 18 laps. But right now, I believe I'm a good 10 to 12 seconds behind my teammate. And we have to pit in 4 laps. If you was looking at the names on the screen, you saw that Zero Duck, he just left the pits, and he didn't fuel. And I don't know if he just got excited and forgot or what. So he has to stop again next lap because of that, or he won't make it another lap. I'll scan over to my teammate here and show you what his car looks like. If I can get this thing to change. L2. There we go. Here is my teammate, and he's running a Pepsi car as well. But he has a white wing and white tires. And we have different countries' flags, or different flags on the front of our car, because he's from Canada. And I'm from the United States, of course. And there's a few little differences, but for the most part, they look the same, just the number's different. And that's how far ahead he is, right here on he's going into turn 2 there. I'm coming down across the finish line. So pretty big gap. So, yeah, I'm the red arrow on the mini-map up there, and he's the blue one right in front of me. So that gives you an idea of what the gap is right now. Let's look at some lap times and see what the pace is. So he ran a 2:01 flat last lap, and I ran a 2:05. So it looks like I'm reeling him in a little bit. He's 12 seconds out. Then you got a 2:03.9 behind him, a 1:57.8 from the guy that was in second earlier. He just switched to mediums, and he's got about a half a tank of fuel in his car, so he's running some fast laps. And he's making green sectors, which means he's running his personal best sector times. After him, we've got an Ace with a 2:04. Was his last lap, which I don't understand why it didn't change that best lap on his monitor over there. Then we've got guys running a 2:33, a 2:02.5, 2:03.4, 2:05.3, 2:06.7, 2:04.6, 2:03.5, 2:05.5, and 2:12.3. Those are your last lap times. Let's see what my teammate does here. This next lap, 2:01.4 he ran. From looking at the sector times, I'm going to have a better lap than him on this time, because I've already knocked a whole second, almost a whole second off of his time here. I ran a 2:06, so I was 0.8 faster on that lap. This Kerry guy's only 9 seconds behind me, and he's catching me pretty quick. So we also just passed the halfway mark when we started across the start finish. So we're officially halfway. From the looks of it, looks like I've knocked some time off of my teammate there. I'm guessing that I remember that he said he hit the sand a little bit. So let's check the gap here and see what it is now. Oh, it's down to 6.5 seconds. So his last lap was a 2:05.9, so I gained 5 seconds because I ran a 2:09. So I'm doing pretty good there then. And then the guy behind me, Kerry, has knocked another second off of my time. He ran a 2-minute flat that last round. And now I figured out why his 1:59.8 and Ace's 2-minute .4 didn't count, because those were the out laps when they came out of the pits. That's what that was. One good thing I'm feeling right now when I'm driving the car is I'm 6 seconds back from my teammate, and that's a good feeling, knowing that I had all of that time lost before we pitted, and I've gained half of that back because he's in my sights now. I can see him down the straightaway there going in the corner. So I kind of feel like there is a chance that I can still rally back and maybe win this race. Of course, it's unknown to me at this moment where I'm going to finish, but I have hope still, and so I'm still pushing. That's why you always, push as hard as you can through the whole race and get the best result you can. Only thing about this part right here, I lose about a second because this guy decided he wanted to give me the position, even though he's a lap car, and you should be courteous enough to do that, but I think he did it in the wrong part of the track. I think he should have waited until like right here on the straightaway, but that was his decision. Maybe he hasn't raced long enough to know that. I don't know what was going on in his mind. I'm sure, when I'm a lap car or I have people coming up to pass me, I try to get out of their way as quick as possible. Maybe that's what he was thinking. But if you ever are a lap car, it's common courtesy to maybe wait until you're on a straightaway and pull out of the line and blip your throttle and let them go by then. Because luckily I was smart enough to be paying attention, but if he would have let up and I wasn't paying attention and I would have went into that corner the way I do when I'm driving just normally, I would have smacked into him and booted him off the track, and I would have probably got damage and a penalty and everything else. So I didn't risk that. I played it cautious to make sure. All right, here we are with hopefully the last pit stop of the race for me. I'll be going on to hard tire now. So the lap times are going to be a little bit slower. The car is going to be a little bit harder to drive. And right now I know that I need 92 liters to leave the pits to finish the rest of this race. I could probably get away with 91 liters, but I'm playing it safe, keeping an extra lap in the bag. So now I'm come out and I'm in third place. I lost one position, that carry guy. At this point, we still think that, me and my teammates still think that we have a chance to win this race, because we know that Kerry can't make it the rest of the way. He has to pit again because he pitted early last time. But we do know, I didn't at the time until my teammate pointed it out, but we know that Kerry is on mediums and that he's already used his hards tire compound, and so when he pits again, he will be pitting on mediums, and we're both running hard tire compound. So we've got to hope that he doesn't get a big enough gap that to when he pits, he can still come back and pass us. So that's what we're trying to do right now, is be consistent and fast on our hard tire as we can. And I don't know where the gap is to my teammate right now. Let's see. My teammate is 7 seconds ahead of me, so he gained a second in the pits. Actually, he gained 2 seconds. I see. All right. So he's 7 seconds behind the leader, and I'm 6.6 seconds behind him. That's what I'm looking at. And the leader, of course, has run a 59.6 now, which is smoking fast. I've only ever seen my optimal get to a 159.7. I've never actually completed a 59 lap, but if I would have hit all my sectors just right, I could have hit a 59.7. So the fastest I've seen is a 2-minute flat, which has not happened in this race. It's just a little different when you're racing. You get nervous and you're scared to do what you can do in practice, because you might wreck. And now that I've already had a few of these mistakes, it's freaking me out. So I don't know why it's showing Galetsky's time gap to be 42 seconds. I think that's wrong. We'll see if it corrects it once it hits the first sector mark here. Yeah, he's 9 seconds and I'm 6.8 behind him. And of course I spin out with 2 laps to go. So now I've got 4th place getting ready to be on my butt. He's behind this chrome illusion car right there, that blue, green, and white. So I've got to make sure I don't make any more mistakes. I think I just got my tires cleaned off right there. I'm just not having a good day when it comes to racing. I mean, yeah, I've made all of these big mistakes and I'm still in 3rd place. I mean, that's a blessing, but I was just so hoping that I was going to have a shot to win this race, and it's not happening right now. I'm about to lose a podium. But right here, that guy, the 4th place guy, got into it with that chrome illusion guy, and so now I've regapped him, and I just got to hang on to this 3rd place position right now, because 2nd place, because of my mistakes, is now 15 seconds ahead of me, and 1st place is 14 seconds ahead of him. So I'm about 28 seconds behind the leader. Now we're at 2 laps to go. One thing I did forget to do that I've learned my lesson on is I forgot to change the time delay. The time delay is on 30 seconds. So I need to change it to whatever the max is so that people have the opportunity to finish their lap and finish the race. Only 2 people got to finish the race. 1st and 2nd place guy, because I was 32 seconds out from the lead, I believe. I almost crossed the finish line. But we're winding down here at the end of the race. Still in 3rd, trying to push it, stay ahead of the 4th place guy and get a podium. Right now my teammate and I are 2nd and 3rd, so for the Manufacturers Championship, that looks really good. And for the Drivers Championship, we're still in good runnings. Right now the leader will have 16 points, 2nd place will 15, and I'm 14, so I'm only 2 points out of the Drivers Championship. But with the combination of my teammate and myself, we're going to be number 1 in the Manufacturers Championship, because the 1st place guy does not have a teammate in this race. So he has a couple of races to do that. to where he can still compete in the Manufacturers Championship because of the 2 throwaway races. It's not required to have a teammate, but I would love for you to have a teammate in order to run this series. That way you can go for the Manufacturers Championship as well, because it's not fair to the people that do have teammates, because some of these guys are running cars that they don't want to drive just because they have to have teammates. And so that's why I urge you to get a teammate if you want to join our series. We are on the final lap. Let's see where the leader is. So the leader's up there and I'm on the front stretch. And he's just coming out of the S's. Second place is in the middle of the S's, and I'm right here entering the S's. So for this last lap we'll follow the leader. Here he is in the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin, I should say. I said it wrong. It's neat to see some of the liveries on these cars. I didn't build the livery that I'm in. My teammate did, and he's really good at doing it, apparently, because it looks really good. This car kind of sounds similar to the one that I'm driving. So he's coming down the final back stretch here. Getting ready to head into the last chicane of the track. And here he is, Kerry, WRX, winning the first race of round 1, or of the 10-week series, winning round 1. And here comes my teammate. He's going to take it easy, knowing that he's already got second wrapped up. Gonna let this guy go ahead of him. Oh, Zebra got off course there, and now here I come. I'm getting ready to cross the line. But it's not going to happen because I had it on a 30-second delay. But there you go. There is round 1 of the Group 3 Winter Series. Next week I'll be posting round 2. I don't know if I'm going to do it live or not. I don't know what you guys prefer. If you prefer the replay because you can watch the chase cam, or if you just want to watch me inside the car the whole race. So I'm determining whether or not I want to do that. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we will see you next week. Peace out.